Hi there, and welcome back to my last episode of my playthrough of Carnival Zombie. But first of all, I have one or two little corrections to make, and many thanks to Tomislav on Board Game Geek who made me aware of them. The first thing is not really kind of a biggie, but I forgot the special ability from Brickhell, which says heavy weapons, so he would be allowed to push back one infected from the barricades as a free action. I think I forgot that at least once or twice, so please remember that when you play this on your own. The next error I've made is in respect to the defeat of a boss. When you defeat a boss, you can either choose a character who would regain 2 levels of stress, so this is completely right. But if you are, let's say, taking the other route, so whatever, drawing a card for this character, you have to do that at random. So in this case, you have to draw a nightmare card, as usual in this game, and there is this little character icon on the top left of this card. So in this case, the doctor would draw a card from his deck, and this is not by your personal choice. So, thanks again for Tomislav for reminding me of that fact, and again, if you play this game, please play it right. As you might remember, we are right now in the night of the 3rd day, and we are trying to escape Venice by boat. Luckily, our captain was able to find the boat, so we are now allowed to use the finale escape by boat from Venice. Therefore, we just grab our little group marker here and place it on the board of our ship. You might remember on the back side there is the pile of corpses. Right now these are our only 4 barricades, and to be honest, I don't think we will be able to manage this. With 4 barricades next to our boat, it's really pretty hard to keep our ship from sinking, basically, because all the other barricades are completely removed from the game. We might be able to regain some of those barricades throughout the night, but we won't be able to add new barricades to the boat. So basically, our boat is in very bad shape, and I'm really not sure if I will be able to escape from Venice. Our characters are also not doing that good, so at least they are all out from the terror zone, and Brickhell is in pretty good shape at this point in time, but I think this will be really tough. So we might be lucky in what cards we will be drawing when I set up the board now, but if we are really not lucky, then I'm pretty sure we don't have any chance to make it through this finale. So the first thing I will do now in order to set up the game board, I already explained to you this boat. I will now place 3 nightmare cards in each of the ditches, and there will be basically 1 nightmare card per ring. Okay, I placed now 12 nightmare cards on board face down, so I don't know which nightmare cards are showing up, and the remaining 6 of them will completely remove from the game, and I won't have a look at them because this is pretty important, so that I don't know whatever if there are 3 south cards in the deck that I just removed from the game or not. My goal in this finale is to escape from Venice, and I have to steer the boat through the lagoon, basically. How do I do that? Basically, it's pretty simple. I have to move my boat 4 times, so 1, 2, 3, and then a 4th time to remove it outside of the lagoon. Of course, there are rules to that. As you might remember, most of those or all of those nightmare cards show a ditch and also a cave. In this scenario, only the ditch is important, and I have to make the cards match. So a nightmare card that shows south has to be in the south ditch, and the same goes for the west or the east ditch. Of course, I can only focus on 1 ditch basically, because otherwise I won't have a chance to move. So it doesn't make sense to move whatever 2 steps to the south and then redeciding and then go to the east. I think this is definitely out of question here. On board of the ship I have basically 5 roles. 4 of these main roles here, so I have the helm, the crow's nest, the charts and the pumps, and also I have a deck crew which will be able to defend from Molochs that might sticking to our ship. During the sequence of play and the first step of the sequence of play, all my characters will choose a role basically. For example, Captain Terror could go to the helm, and whatever Brickhell could go to the crow's nest. This is something I can decide in each consecutive rounds. All the other heroes that don't get a special role here will go to the deck and might be able to defend ourselves against the evil Goliath here, not the Moloch like I stated before. So this guy will basically cling to our ship. I think it will remove a barricade, and he will also stay where he is and will cause additional infected to appear once they have their entrance. One additional big change to this finale is there won't be any hours used. So I can either win or lose. So either I win if I escape from the lagoon, and I will lose basically if my ship will sink, which is pretty likely, to be honest. So I think I can just remove this sun tracker here because the hours don't have any impact on the gameplay here anymore. The next big change to the normal sequence of play for the normal night is our characters won't be able to use their nighttime ability. So Pantaleon won't be able to build new barricades, and the dog won't be able to heal our characters. But one thing that's definitely still, let's say, allowed to be used is our survivor here. As long as we have the survivor, we are allowed to reduce the amount of infected that will attack the ship when it's their turn. So this is definitely a very good thing. I won't be allowed to use the items either, so really all my characters will be more or less occupied in order to steer the ship, in order to find the path through the foggy lagoon, so they won't hassle with any chainsaws or M16s in this finale. Let's start with a sequence of play, and step one would be that our characters will take their position. So for now I think I will really give the helm to the captain. The crow's nest I give to Lady Columbine. I think I will give the charts. No, that's thematically doesn't make sense. I will give the charts to Harlequin, and of course our engineer will take care about the pumps. Bricker and the dog will man the deck and will try to defend us from any Molochs that might appear in the latest step of this night. The second step in the sequence of play for this special night would be the crow's nest, and I rearranged those icons a little bit in order to have them in the right order. So it would now be Lady Columbine's turn, and the crow's nest position allows you to flip any nightmare card that's on the game board. And as I don't have any clue at this point in time, I will just reveal this card here in the North Ditch, and this time we are really awfully lucky, so we already have the right card. So this shows the number, shows the north position. Unfortunately, we have an infect position, but I think this is something we have to live with at this point in time. I guess I will have her take one stress, and this would allow her to flip another card, and I'm just taking the card from ring 2. And again, this is a north card. Really, I'm not cheating here. I can really not believe it. So we have now 2 nightmare cards that are in the right ditch already. So this is of course awesomely cool. I cannot describe to you how happy this makes me. Perfect. Now it would be the turn of Harlequin and the charts, but he's allowed to exchange any 2 nightmare cards on the game board. But right now, this doesn't make any sense because I don't know what in ring 3 is waiting for me. I would be really stupid to just blindly exchange this card. So for now, I won't have him use his special ability. And this is also good as I don't have to take or let him take 1 extra stress in order to flip an additional pair of cards. Awesome! The 4th step in the sequence of play is the position of the helm. As his normal free action, he can now move the ship in any direction as long as the card we are moving the group to is, let's say, a legal position. You could also go for a blind movement, then you would be allowed to flip this card, but then your turn would be completely over. But for now we don't have to do that, so we just move our group 1 step closer to the exit of Venice. Then the captain or our helmsman takes 1 level of stress in order to move our group 1 level ahead. And this time we are really lucky as this card doesn't show the infected symbol here, so we won't suffer any penalties for our position in the lagoon, which is also perfect. Then it would be the turn of our deck crew, but right now we don't have any Molochs next to our boat, so we can easily skip this step. And now we come to the not so nice part, and this is the infected wood entrance. And now we draw 10 infected cubes from the abyss, but we have some modifiers. We would add 2 more if our group marker would be on a card with an infected result. Right now that's not the case, thanks to the captain. We get +1 for each Goliath next to the board. We also don't have any Goliaths, and I was wrong here. This is the Goliath and not the Moloch. Apologies for that. Then we would gain -2 for each character on the deck. So right now this would bring us to only 8 cubes, and we get -1 for each survivor rescued. And right now our doctor has 1 survivor with him, so we have to draw 7 infected cubes from the abyss. So we will draw 7 cubes now, and these are our cubes. And okay, I think that's already it, because we have 3 of these Molochs and 1 of these Goliaths, and this will bring us down basically immediately. So each Moloch, as you can see here, move 2 barricades to the dump. We have 4 barricades, so these 2 Molochs alone would remove all our 4 barricades. Then we have 2 more and 1 more for this Goliath here. So in total we would have to remove 7 barricades to the dump. So 2 and 2, that's 4. We would need to remove 3 more. We don't have them, and this means if at any time there is no barricade left next to the boat sinks, dragging forever the characters down the abyss. The game ends in defeat. And what I feared became true. Our characters are drowning in the lagoon of Venice. At least we moved our ship 2 spaces ahead, and just out of curiosity, I want to see what this last nightmare card actually was. And at least this time that's a wrong card, so we would have to exchange at least this card with one of the other cards. But of course we don't know where another north card would be waiting for us. So I think during my next turn I would have maybe switched over this card with our helm. This is the wrong card. Then I could take another wound or another stress in order to reveal this card. This is also wrong. And can you believe it? That's also 2 cards on the right ditch, so just out of curiosity. That's also no. Oh, and this is a question mark. So if we have taken this route, we would be perfectly fine. Without switching anything, we would have been able to escape from Venice. But of course, with 4 barricades, this was really a very stupid move from me to escape from Venice. But I wanted to really show you this finale. I think this is the most interesting one, because it really deviates from the normal night sequence of play. Yeah, and as mentioned, this was my last episode of my playthrough of Carnival Zombie. It's really a great game. I absolutely love it. It's really fun, and especially I like one of the optional rule which says no one is allowed to basically give any hints during the night sequence of play. This is basically very important for characters who tend to direct other players what to do and what not, and this is definitely not allowed in this variant. I think there is even a penalty if a character would say too much. Then I think additionally 2 additional infected would enter the game board, and or something like that. Though this is really something I like a lot about this game. So during the night, everyone is basically on his own. During day, everything is allowed. You can talk tactics and strategy, but again, during night, you are on your own. It's really a tough game, so I can assure you. So on easy mode, I think I'm now able to win this game every now and then. On this medium level, it's much more difficult, as you have to deal with stress. You don't have any starting items. Doc Pestilence doesn't start with any survivors, so this is really a complete different scenario. And of course you have some more bosses to deal with. This is definitely also a great factor. This will make the game more harder. And also keep in mind there's also a tough mode or hard mode, so even with more bosses. And I think also you have to move through Venice at least 1 or 2 spaces more in order to reach any meaningful position. So this is really a great game. I really hope you enjoyed my little playthrough here, and hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. Until then, bye bye.